This is D-Boy from West Coast Uncensored. How's everybody doing? All right, I'm getting ready to start. So I'm going to go in here. Let's do this over. All right. I told you I'd get back to you. This is D-Boy at West Coast Uncensored. Thank you. I just got to thank everybody for the podcast listening. This is just tremendous. My numbers have went up quadruple just in the last 5 podcasts over the last the first 6, 7, 8 months I was doing it. 10 now, numbers jump, people getting back to me, people watching it. I definitely don't know who they are because of the numbers, because I see the numbers going to places that, and I'm not sending them out to. So, and of course, those who have been faithful and been there from the beginning, definitely appreciate that. But I've been watching the numbers just go really far up. And definitely, somebody was telling me, take your glasses off and do it. I will, but I will be putting them back on because I'm going to be doing some reading on some of the things I had talked about, what I was going to go into. But again, gracias, gratitude, thankfulness for everybody who supported the podcast. And again, hit that. We're on different formats. We are even on LinkedIn. We are on Twitter now, Instagram. And we definitely are doing some other things on, if you go to Facebook, you get Danny Abril. You're going to go in there, and then you're going to end up I'll put you in a group, which is D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. And again, D-Boy West Coast Uncensored is definitely Instagram, D-Boy West Coast Uncensored, Twitter, D-Boy West Coast Uncensored, LinkedIn. Those are other platforms I'm doing as I'm trying to put more and more out. And thankful for everybody who's listening, because I told you if you put up more stuff, I definitely would. With the going, you're gonna press me. You're gonna challenge me to do the things I need to do by putting more content, because the content's liked, and I hope, and definitely this content is for helping people help themselves. Hear what I'm saying? Tools to help you help yourself in whatever aspect of your life. Take your life to a positivity, connectivity to the next level of yourself, which can be inclusive in all levels of yourself. I'm definitely doing it. Breaking up the fallow ground of dissension and division that's thrown at us through media all the time, and put the positivity of the connection that we have and stuff with people, where we see all the division, all that, what's propagated on television and media, calling that as it is and saying we have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. All of us do, which is more of a connection. We have more in common. Don't care what the color or your pigment of your skin is, the sex you are, or any of that. We have more in common than we do have division. And when we really realize that and have knowledge of that, we'll stop allowing others outside of the play box to want us to play in their play box. Because if you don't drive your energy, other parts of this life will. Just going to be honest. I'm not going to go into depth what that means. Them that hear me and understand that get it. Because division it's a millennium game, if not longer. Millennium's game, if not longer. So what I wanted to talk about, I promised you, was a little bit of what I wanted to talk about was a little bit of yoga. And when I'm talking about yoga, I'm talking about mindset flexibility, learning to be flexible with your mindset. Because a lot of times our mindsets are not flexibility. And I've mentioned many times in podcasts, I usually try to go 25. If this goes over 25, because I know there's a lot here. So we will. If we approach 30, then just so be it. But anyways, that flexibility and mindset would give you the power to change things up immediately and be more connective instead of getting stuck in your areas of yourself. And, you're disconnecting yourself. So when I look at it, what I'm saying is, what happens a lot of times is you have somebody that's really good at planning, and they're really good at organizing. But usually when things come into the flexibility mode of having to make changes immediately, because of flexibility, sometimes they can be so stringent in their aspect of planning that they are very poor at flexibility and making changes, especially on the run, or you need to make changes like that. And not a lot of times in life, we need the flexibility, but we also like the fact that planning, for those who are poor at this, but maybe flexible at something else. I just think in my jobs that I've had, working in counseling and in case managing in the mental health field for so long, You can have a plan. You can have what you're stringent and what you're going to do, and that can change in a drop of a hat. And you need to make that change and reverse and make the left when you thought you were going right, and go west when you thought you were going east on the dime, and not think about it, and not been able to go into other parts. But maybe other areas of yourself planning is porous, because there's a balance, and this is where we want to have the balance that works the best for us as individuals. So the first thing I was talking about, these are going to be 5 things that can help you with a flexible mindset for your life to grow in aspects of family, relationships, marriages, cousins, brothers, sisters, friendships, business partners, business ways, and taking responsibility, which I think is a number one thing. I think just in this world and the mindset of people, everybody tends to want to play the blame game, and this blame game is an irresponsible mindset that does never serve you and pay you out in the end. In your energy, in your planning, in your accountability, it never pays you. Like I've said many times, if you take the B of blame and you replace it and just get rid of the B, you got lame. Lame actually means that you're sick and you're not really strong, and you have to rely on something else like a crutch. Hear what I'm saying? Or a cane, and you're not able because you have to use the cane. So blame as actually just put the B on it. You lame. So if you're always blaming others for your concept and not taking responsibility, it will be lame. And guess who will suffer the lameness? You can be over and over and play that game, but you're going to one that suffers, falls shorts, lacks the growing, doing the things you need to do, and going around this whirlwind year after year in relationship after relationship. Let's kill that. Those are the mindset that want to change. Let's be flexible. So the first thing we're going to talk about is accountability. Wow. Accountability. And accountability is the definition is a quality of state of being accountable, especially an obligation. And that obligation accepts the responsibility and is willing to, because they're going to be fully cooperative. And this could be with other people, but let's get down to the nitty gritty. How many times are we not accountable to ourselves first? Because we always pay the piper first ourselves, because that's how energy works and goes through. You're not accountable to yourself. And if you're not accountable to yourself, you're just going to have problems with accountability with other people if you can't be accountable to yourself. And one's actions. So being accountable to one's actions, being responsible. Notice this word accountability and responsibility go hand in hand. And remember, we talked about this a few weeks ago with layering up or moving up. There's just certain words that link together, and there's words who don't link together. And if your life and energy are not linking, it's because you have one thing and you have something it doesn't link with. So you're out of connection. You're really, really operating in a low vibration, and you wonder why accountability will go with unaccountability. It will, but it will not build upon each other, because accountability is going to always build with responsibility. So number 2 of the 5, responsibility. These words are so similar. In this, watch this. The other one we said was acceptable and willing to accept the responsibility to take one's account for its own actions. So listen to responsibility. The state or fact of doing a duty, dealing with something or a situation, to be a leader. This is really when you start looking, this is responsibility and accountability is leadership stuff when you can do it. How many times have you seen had a boss, or you've seen people who just tell you what to do, but leaders actually show you how they do, and accountability is accounting you into their leadership is getting you to be better at what you do. This goes for a job, this goes for business, this goes for management of a team, and this is why I was saying even earlier why you need flexibility. Besides doing mental health, I coach ball for many times, and when you coach ball and you try to, whatever the sport is, and it's a competitive sport, guess what? There's times that your game plan is not functioning because the other team has made adjustments to what you do, and you need to, at that time, be flexibility to go out of your game plan and do something different to adjust. And this is really the accountability factor of responsibility, is learning to adjust. You pay the piper. It's about you. Because if you're not being responsible and accountability, these two words link up. If you're trying to do something that's the opposite Uncountability and responsibility just don't link up. So if you're in your life wondering why your responsibility is low, believe me, you're not accountable to yourself, and vice versa. The things that link up in energy are the things that connect, like a negative and a positive, right? Like a magnet. Magnet either draws in or repels. If it's repelling, it doesn't connect. And that's kind of metaphysically, that's just how this goes. To accept responsibility. So it's going to bring you to leadership. You start influencing, and this is one of the things to do if you're doing your own business and you want to be a leader. You must be an influencer, which means you need to find out different aspects of what influencing is. You need to find out the things that create influence. The things that create influence is a connectability to these words that create influence, because then if they see influence, what they want to link up with you, because the linking energy is there. People don't join businesses or join teams, they join people. Hear what I'm saying? It's not about the team or always the business. When you go into business and you have a business that's connectivity, that's team building, it's about joining people. It's linking up with people. And if you have these lacking things and wonder why you're always stalemated and can't grow, it's because you're lacking one of them. If you harmonize with these things, they will open up into your life, but it's a mindset. I always talk about flip the mindset, change your mindset, whatever the thing's wrong, have the tools. You have the tools to change your mindset. The only place you get stuck is in your mind. That's the only place you get stuck is in your mind. If it weren't so many people wouldn't be stuck. Where are they stuck at? In their mind. That's why it's called a mindset, because it's set for them. They're not open mind. It's like jumping out of the plane, and you jump out of the plane and then you don't pull the cord or the parachute. Having a closed mindset is like not pulling the cord of the parachute and jumping out of the plane, expecting that in a parachute's like a mind. It opens up. And if you're not willing to do that and you wonder why the parachute don't open, it's because you don't do the things you need to do, because you keep your mindset in the same places. And they link to the same things. Notice that. They link to the same things. Number 3, when you start learning the accountability, you start learning the responsibility, now you can really start getting to the nitty gritty on getting down to yourself and your struggles and the things that will make you better. One of the biggest hampering parts is you want to decrease self-judgment. Whether you're in certain things, because just because you take responsibility and accountability, you have to balance that out with knowing how to forgive yourself, not be hard with yourself, because this aspect of balance of decreasing self-judgment is huge. Because if you're self-judging, you are sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging yourself. Watch. Sabotaging your judgment is like condemnation to one's own qualities, their actions, and their character. You sabotage yourself with self-judgment. It's like let's turn on the juice, and you go and unplug it behind yourself. You sabotage it. You have no juice because you're self-judgment. Condemnation, self-judgment. You ridicule your own character. Your qualities and actions go down the tube with this. It's very important to know that accountability and responsibility will lead you into learning how to decrease self-judgment, because you need to learn to let things go and let bygones be bygones, because you'll see the improvement in one's character, you'll see the improvement in one's energy, you'll see the improvement in when we grow. We're not the same anymore. I'm not the same person I was at 15. There's a 15-year-old version of me. There's a 21-year-old version of me. There's a 25-year-old version of me, and it's not the same person. There's a 30-year-old version of me, and on and on. There's a 45-year-old version of me. It's not the same as the version of me now. Hear what I'm saying? The versions of you change with growth, but you have to link in these different aspects of yourself and learn to open the parachute. Don't be closed-minded. And closed-minded goes right with something that many people get stuck in, and it's indoctrination. Notice, try represents 3. In the doc, kind of like a computer aspect or that, but also the sea or the ship. In dock, try. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You get indoctrinated in those areas. It's in the dock, baby. You've been docked. Somebody else is the captain of your ship. You got to find out the tools to take hold and start learning how to drive and propel yourself. You're the energy. You think about money and everybody's, you got to have money. But money hovers with people because you're the energy source that draws money and repels money. Money's just an aspect. It's not the big thing. It's the currency's you. You want mindset flexibility because you want to be better self and you want things better. You got to break your old trends. You got to break the old things that maybe been with you and your familia for decades, generations. You may be the one that goes in there and dissolves something that has a connection to dissolving others and helping your own family. Hear what I'm saying? It's generationalism. Why do you think they propagate the thing? You got to save and have generational wealth. You're the wealth. The money's just a byproduct of coming. If you're wealth, that currency is going to flow to that currency. Just like I was telling somebody, there's work in currency. You want to believe it? Look at the current in the ocean. Why do you think the money goes to the bank? Because the current, the bank controls even in the water, in the aspect of water, the currency. I went over this. This all goes together. So number 4. 3, dissolve that condemnation, decrease it, quit condemning yourself. That's a low vibration. It will never serve you. It will always drive your energy to the lowest place of not connecting and keep you in a mindset of failure, and you'll be the woe is me, the Gulliver. Hear what I'm saying? You'll be the woe is me and the Gulliver, and why things never change and this and that. Grab the rudder, drive the ship, do the work, change. You have all the tools and aspects to change. You're prepared. We're not looking to be prepared. An aspect I used to believe. Tommy Rhett, like an old person I knew used to say. I now know that's Tommy Rhett. It's not true. You are equipped. 110, equipped. 115, take it up higher. Connect. You are very equipped. Is there some tweaks and tools that you might have to tighten up some bolts and nuts? And this is metaphysically speaking with yourself. Indeed. Be the mechanic. Do the work. But you can run another version of yourself. Hear what I'm saying? The computer is a copy of you. You're not a copy of it. You're the deal that it is. That's why it named some of those things. You got the motherboard. You got the memory. All that thing's a copy of us. Know that. We think it's supreme. It is secondary to us. If we understand our aspects of this stuff, we could take ourselves up to a higher realm, higher frequency. Hear what I'm saying? Number 4 is focus. This is a very tough one for people to keep focused on doing what things they want to do. Believe me, if these 3 states of the top 3 that I had named, if you go through that, you'll find out that the thing of focus will focus connects into less judgment of yourself. Focus will come. That judgment of yourself is like distortion. You can't hear things clearly. You don't know. Everything seems just out of kilter. The self-judgment will keep you out of kilter and will prohibit you from even getting down your focus and knowing your focus. Because where your focus is where your energy goes. This is what I'm talking about. Where your focus is where your energy goes. That's why do you think we have 100 million commercials and news is throwing all kinds of stuff? They want your focus. Because that's where your energy goes when you focus on everything outside of you. From this and this, and you want to get into that stuff. But those who know what I'm talking about. I'm not playing that game with them. I know their game. I don't play rigged card games no more. Now some I don't want to get in rigged card games. That's not very wise to get in rigged card games when you're rigged to lose. Your energy, your currency, your money. Those who know what I'm saying will know. Take it to the next level. You got the power. Take it. Learn from it. Focus. It's the center of interest and activity. Hear what I'm saying? It's a focus of center and activity. It is the focus of your center and your activity. That's why I always propagated and always telling you, learn the foundation of this is within you. When everybody tries to put it outside of you, that's been a game that doesn't work for you. It doesn't. Just look outside yourself and you can see how mully grubs and really what that produces. The seed and the tree of what that produces, that's what you ain't bringing it. This is a mindset people have, is to be outside of themselves. So the focus and center of interest or activity is having the focus to do what you want to do. And I'm talking about focusing to do what you want to do what you need to do, and empower yourself to be able to do that, what you want to do, to focus what you want, not what somebody else is propagating you or leading you by the nose or leading you by the collar to do their bidding. And I'm talking the system. It's time for us to look at being more sovereign instead of relying on a system that doesn't care about us. Don't give a rat's tail about us. Not at all. Never has. It's always wanted to be the inorganic mother and father and didn't recognize your organic is within your family, within your DNA, between your relationships of people, family, friends. That's why I said the computer's a copy, and so is that, but it's inorganic. Get your organic back. Get your field back. Get your back. I'm talking about this focus, that interest. What can you do? I started looking at things and I was a little self-judgment. Myself said to myself, hey, you change your diet. You change this. You stop this. You did this. When you put your mind and focus on something, you hammer it into the left field pavilion. In the ninth inning, you hit a grand slam when you're down by 3, meaning you win the game when you decide to do something and you get your focus right. You do it to it. And I said, you know what? You're right. You're right. So getting yourself healthy is important. It should be the most important thing for you, is looking to be healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and being healthy instead of worrying about things that don't even look at that for you, outside of you. They don't care about your health. Just being honest, they don't. The system don't care about you. What is it, 50th rated healthcare system ranked in health? Because it's not a priority. It's not. And a lot of things healthy ain't nowhere near health. We have the cancer and all this stuff. Health is big. Mental health is big. Physical health is big. Get your mindset back and start taking captivity over the things that have taken you captive. And you start taking captivity and be creative. So that focus, that center of industry, that activity that will start when you start focusing, when you start leaving the condemnation, you'll notice that focusing will start coming in when you decrease this stuff. If you take these steps, you're going to accountability, you're going to responsibility, you're decreasing the self-judgment. Self-judgment is crap. Hear what I'm saying? I've seen it, dealt with it, know it, the back of my hand. Nobody can propagate that as real because it's not. Doesn't bring it. Just doesn't. It never will. Found it out. So focus, the center of interest and activity of your energy. You start using that for you. You start creating that. You're the center of the activity, activating your energy field so you can start creating. And we'll go with number 5, which is creativity. Now we're in the ballpark where we can start being creative individuals that we really, really, really are and have been. Your ancestors were creative. They were. They didn't just worry about this little stuff, iPhone 678. They were doing all kinds of creative things to put that to shame because they understood the harmonics of the electricity field that you are and how to use that. Creativity, the use of imagination, original ideas. The origin ideas, not copying. Hear what I'm saying? Original, creative ideas from the center of your interest of activity. Crush it. That is your capability. Innovativeness, individual expressiveness and inspiration, creative power, creative talent, creative gift, resourcefulness. When they're going around telling us, oh, we're running out of these resources, when I understand myself and people and what really have, how can something be running out when it has abundance of it? That's a game. Game over. Stop that mind. That's that negative mindset that's fed every day to you. System. That's fed every day. Creativity. inspiration. Notice where inspiration is. Where's it at? It's in. Like I was saying, the center of intact. It all begins with you. The inspiration, vision. You start seeing the ideas come to place and how to manifest them. I'm talking truth here. How to manifest the things that you want to creatively create, and start tweaking the stuff that doesn't allow you to get to these places. The self-judgment, lack of focus, irresponsibility, lack of accountability. Nobody can trust you because you're just showing over and over. But you can fix that. That's tweakable, man. That's just like tightening a bolt within you. It's a mindset. Drive your mindset. If people don't feed your mindset and you're hanging around with them and you wonder why you don't change, that's why you don't change. If you're running around trying to keep up with the Joneses because you want the Joneses to acknowledge you, but you really know the Joneses don't like you, and you want to live like them, and you really know they don't give a hoot about you, what are you doing and what are you feeding into? What's that mindset to want to show off and show somebody or floss in something that's really meaningless, and their judgment's just meaningless? It's because if you get rid of self-judgment, others' judgment outside of you will become really meaningless because they don't do anything for you. If they're in judgment, they're in ridicule themselves upon themselves. Creativity, original ideas. I love that, especially in the production of artistic work. You start being a creator in the aspect of yourself. You'll be painting a mural or a painting, and I'm talking literally, or it can be whatever your deal is in creativity, metaphysically, that is astounding, because you are astounding. Your creative gift, your genuine resourcefulness, genuine enterprise to yourself, genuine. Like I had mentioned before, and I mentioned a few times, we're at about the 27-minute. I knew we'd be approaching 30. I'll wind this down because real quick, but I've said many times we got the 5, the 2 arms, 2 legs, and the head called 5, right? The pentagram, that's what it is. Don't get scared. Wake up. That's what it is. Anybody gives you anything else, they're just copying, and then they're making something that they got from something else, and then they're giving their spin. Don't take their spin, because their spin, it's a spin. Disoriented. It will disorient you. Don't disorient yourself. Balance is the key. But the thing that differs us from, even though we have the 5 in common, that makes us really connected, we all have uniqueness that differs like a fingerprint from each other. That fingerprint is a uniqueness out of every individual. Their fingerprint differs, and that's the uniqueness of us all, that we have a uniqueness similar to a fingerprint of what you are is not what other people that differ in who you are, that what you bring to the table and what you bring to life, man. So I'm just here to tell you that creativity and all this. So real quick, I hope you guys love it. I hope it's definitely manifests something in your life and helps some people. But watch this. Get on this and hit and like. Anchor. YouTube. My YouTube is lacking. YouTube is not, but Anchor and some of my other stuff is. And I do want to bring that up. I got to share it more because my Anchor's jumping out so well. I'm sharing Anchor. But I am on YouTube. Hit on Anchor and YouTube. Subscribe. Hit on all my platforms. But on Anchor, man, it's did well. Now they're opening up that if you subscribe and if you want to give, which I will add more different aspects to this and bring more content, because this content is for you. It helps me, but it's also for you, that I will definitely love to, and I want to do some interviews. Anybody that's got a great story, got some creativity going, and got a story that needs to be heard, I would love to do some interviews. And also anybody's business that's an off-the-chart business that's really creative in their business, leading through their entrepreneurship and their sovereignty. I want to help you, man. I'd love to interview on that. Anything that brings health and it brings it together in unity, not a tear down. But anyways, if you go on there, subscribe to Anchor, bless. It definitely will come back to you many, many times over and over, because if you hit there, subscribe, that gives you 3 options to share. And if you do share on those 3 options, it's awesome, because the 3 options, and I don't care, it does give money, it does help, which I'm going to get back to doing more content and buying more stuff. I got a little light going on here. You see the background. I'll even get more. So you guys have a great day. Subscribe on Anchor. Hit me up on all things D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. You guys have a fantastic day. D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. That was the Anchor podcast ending. Like I said, hit me up here. I'm here on the visual, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. No, I really can't put this on unless I go live. But we definitely will be on LinkedIn and also Twitter now. You guys have a great day.